For Wall Street Media, this is Tyler. I'm here with Doug, who's wide awake right now, and we're going to bring you lots of important information from conferences all over the country.
The world.
The world, yes, Monaco.
Monaco should be part of the United States. We could kick their ass and take them over in 10 minutes, but they're not. So we let them still exist freely.
Yeah, well, you're not there. I don't know why, but that's not the point. This is information from the Rodman Conference. You can find that at WSW.com/webcast/RRSHQ 13. And let's see what we got over here.
I kind of know everything, don't I, Ty?
Well, you sit here all day and you kind of orchestrate things.
So only I can know? German Mike built a calendar. You could access the calendar.
I access the calendar.
You don't.
It slipped my mind.
Listen, we're glad you find your way here every once in a while.
Once in a while. Yeah, anyway.
Super cool stuff. Monaco, Rodman have the greatest biotech healthcare conference. A lot of small caps, a lot of companies you won't have heard of before that we make oodles of dough from year after year. Listen to the CEOs yourself at the URL where Tyler just gave it to you. Or you give some little teasers and some highlights.
You want some little teasers and highlights? Beautiful. So we had Thomas Aasen. He's the CFO of Acadia Pharmaceuticals. Their ticker is ACAD. That's ACAD, Douglas.
Okay.
He noted progress on late-stage trials for the treatment of Parkinson's disease psychosis, which is a major market since there is currently no FDA-approved drug for the disease.
Yeah, it sucks. For a long time, man. You've been hearing about Parkinson's, the stem cells were going to cure it.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing the stem cells in the UK. Turns out it hasn't really cured too much yet.
Well, you heard so much. What was it? There were a couple actors there. What was his name?
Michael
the one
J.
who
Fox.
really brought it onto the scene.
He's got that thing in New York. I emailed him a couple times to see about webcasting it for free to try to help out.
Yeah.
But he's got such an efficient organization that never got back to us.
It sounds like it's efficient.
Yeah. Who's the next one?
We also got Bill Davis. He's the CFO of Allscripts Healthcare Solutions, ticker MDRX. He discussed the pending merger with the healthcare division of British software company Misys PLC and noted that the only obstacle left is the shareholder vote.
British.
Yeah.
Oh, don't merge with the British.
Don't mix with the British.
Don't tell them where you are anything.
We've also got Carl Byers, the CFO of Athena Health, ticker ATHN. He spoke about the company's OnElement software and service platform that facilitates payments from medical insurance companies for doctors.
You know what? I saw a good editorial, Tyler.
What'd you say?
About medicine in the Wall Street Journal. Where they said doctors are moving to Texas so fast that they had a backlog. The Texas legislature actually had to pass a special provision for funding because they had a 3,000 doctor backload trying to move to Texas from somewhere else.
Why?
Glad you asked that, Tyler.
Even though I wouldn't know, I'm sure I would.
The liberals, who are the enemies of America, and the trial lawyers, who are the enemies of America, are fraudulent. And a lot of the Democrats, who are the enemies of America, are fraudulent too. And all these people were filing false claims,
right?
And the Wall Street Journal editorial mentions that, just for whatever it is when you have asbestos in your system, right? The Texas changed the malpractice laws so that you actually have to show some kind of disease, right? Diminished lung performance or something, right? Not, I used to work there and they had asbestos.
Right.
And they had already filed tens of thousands of claims for this, right? All of the trial lawyers who are lying, cheating criminals.
Right.
And all of, their American clients, which are lying, cheating criminals, had filed, and it was tens of thousands. I don't know now if it was 49,000 or 100,000 people had filed for this.
Right.
And after they passed the law in the Texas legislature to knock off with this malpractice lying, right, less than 1/3 of the people then went to prove that they had it. It was like, say, 76,000 people had filed and said, they were permanently disabled and they should be getting this $50,000 settlement from asbestos. And it turned out to be 26 people.
Right. But the doctors that are going there,
because they want to go there so they can practice medicine.
But this is for the future. Some of them probably already have cases that are following them. No.
No, but this is for the future. You know, I'd like to be able to practice medicine and not have some scumbag try to cheat me and swindle me.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And some of it was like asbestos. Something was another one that was similar. I don't recall what it was. And another one was for emergency room doctors, where you had to show that they did something wrong, not that you were a lazy scumbag and you just wanted to get a check and not work.
I read another article.
Went down for this other thing for the emergency room. Went to 1/3 of 1%.
Wow.
Of the people who had filed cases, and that lawyers had filed cases.
Right. I read an article today that said in a lot of hospitals in certain cities they've started doing this. I forget which cities, but the doctors have started, if they mess up, which once in a blue moon, something's going to happen. But they come to the patient and they just said like, hey, I apologize about that. I accidentally scraped this rib and not that rib, and I really apologize. And they're cutting down on the insurance on that.
I'd be grateful for that.
Yeah, absolutely, because people feel like that was an honest doctor, and part of the reason that they want to sue is so that this doesn't happen again in the future, right? And if people are hiding something,
the whole system's a mess,
right?
I also saw Aspen Bio, who we love, presented in Monaco today at this, and he said that this test that they have for the burst appendix will cut down like mad on malpractice, because they do 100,000 operations a year on people that have perfectly good appendix.
Really?
Yeah. Ooh. And they always biopsy them after, and so you have it staring in the face.
Right.
Hey, thanks very much for this very painful surgery. And then also the people that come into the ER that get sent home that have burst appendix.
Oh.
And that kills children. It kills the elderly. Right.
Right.
And it also, even if you're not a child or elderly, it's horrible on your system. The appendix bursts, and it infects all your other organs, and it can ruin other organs, right? And right now, I can't remember the numbers. Start at one time.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No worries.
But it was like 30,000, and you have to listen to his webcast. People that with burst appendix, Americans, right? People that matter, get sent home, and then the appendix bursts, and now that could be fatal, and it causes all these problems.
Right.
And this test that Aspen Bio are working on. He said they're going to file for this device to be approved, and I think he said September. Do you remember German? German Mike and I came in at midnight.
Yeah. He hasn't remembered 5 minutes
to do this one. He took Robitussin. The German's going to be like a dope fiend someday soon. The guy from Aspen Bio said that this cuts both ways. It saves the people who got the unnecessary surgery, 100,000, right? We're not talking about a few, right?
Yep.
And that's Americans we're talking about, right? People that mean something. And then all the people with the burst ones that get sent home.
Yeah.
And then all the trauma from that.
Yeah.
Just my point being that it's all tied together. Like you can see thousands of doctors moving to Texas to get away from these phony malpractice, right? But nevertheless, career ruining and life ruining, right, for the doctor.
Yep.
They're moving to Tennessee, right? To Texas to do that, right? Now, what do you think? How quickly are they going to adopt this test to tell whether the appendix?
If these numbers are that big, like you're saying, then man, yes.
And he was talking about CT scans. He said, "Do you know something? This is spooky. You guys should listen to this stuff. You might learn something." I didn't know this because all these bastards send me for CT scans about 20 times a year,
right?
For different things, right? And he said they cause so much cancer, you can't believe it.
The CT scan itself.
Yeah. And it's like 500. A CT scan is 500 times the radiation of a chest X-ray.
Wow.
And people are like, oh, I mean, I don't know if I need another chest X-ray. And that guy from Aspen Bio said this. I love the Aspen Bio guys. Smart guys. And that's a super valuable thing that I learned from listening to that one today.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like 5 in the morning. But 500 times.
Wow.
Radiation. And he said it's going to be, because they're becoming so prevalent now, that it's going to be, he thinks, 1 in 50 cancer cases, and I can't remember when, I think 10 years,
will be
caused by the how many CT scans they're giving, and they're giving CT scans because someone presents with some kind of stomach problem, right, lower GI problems, right, but they don't want to be sued, and there's no test now to tell if your appendix have burst, haven't burst, if that's the problem or not, right? And he said even more so with women because it could be so many gynecological things, right?
Yeah.
And you go for the CT scan, thousands of dollars, right? And hello, 500 times radiation.
That's insane.
That's important stuff, German Mike.
That's important. Let's move on though. German's giving us the time signal over there. We also had Michael Eggers, the CFO of Real Networks, ticker RNWK. He discussed the company's intent to spin off its profitable casual games business to shareholders, with the official SEC filing to come at the end of the year.
We used to work with them.
Yeah. You were talking about them a minute ago. We were sitting back there on the beanbags.
We had a Real Networks channel a long time ago.
So anyway, moving on. We had Mike Durham, the CEO of ADES, ticker ADES. He announced that ADES is developing 6 AC facilities with $250 million in contracts expected in the next few months. The permit for the first location in LA is expected in the next few weeks, so watch out for that. We also had Charles Horn. Haha, it's good last name right there. Yeah, absolutely. Charles Horn, the CFO of Builders First Source, ticker BLDR.
Did you walk up to him like you did that poor guy from Tyler Tech? He was like,
that guy loved me.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? He had a great
time. In the company.
He had a great time.
Here, and we grimaced for you.
That guy loved it. I don't know what you're talking about.
He did. Now, this poor guy. Well, my name's Tyler Horn. Are you my father? Oh.
Alright, anyway, that's another. Charles Horn, CFO of Builders First Source, ticker BLDR, discussed the expected consolidation of the top 5 building suppliers in the next few years. And
I'm texting Melissa to tell her that she's too late. We're doing the show right now.
Yeah, right now. This is what we're doing. Good. Mike Herring, the CFO.
Hit the feedback button if you'd rather see Melissa.
Yeah, please do, actually. That would be great. I want to read this, too. Mike Herring, the CFO of Omniture, ticker OMTR, noted record non-GAAP revenues for Q1 2008.
Wow, is that right? 12 minutes?
Yes, that's right. The integration of recently acquired Visual Science is being on track, and the addition of over 250 new customers during Q1, bringing the total customer base to 4,500. And
look at that. That wasn't too bad.
No,
like little hurry, boy.
You Germans over there, like, fake coughing, like, let's go.
He's really coughing. He is sick.
I don't believe that.
He was wrapped in a blanket today.
Yeah, although, I mean, look at the nose, though. He
was wrapped in a blanket. He's got a turtleneck on. Why don't you come around and wave and show the audience how sick you are, German? Come on. He won't.
No.
He talks by the camera. That's probably more than anybody gets out of him. Did you see that? He was just tormenting his poor girlfriend. And, she's a good-looking girl. And Rich got horses, Connecticut, Geneva for the weekend. She must just love it. She likes the pain, man.
Aren't you guys going over to Europe this coming weekend?
This will be like 3 weekends in a row, right?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, that's what.
I think she said she was going over, and Mike was like, "Nah, I don't know if I'm up to it." Yeah, she was really pulling.
Do you know why? Because he met someone last weekend while he was there.
So
He's
she
wants
to
go back and see her.
Figure that out, right? Anyway, click the feedback button. Tell us what you're buying, what you think, whether or not.
None of those stories are true about Tyler.
There aren't any stories about Tyler. Douglas.
Jen, click the feedback button. I don't have your email, but I'll let you know the stories that are true and aren't.
Jen, don't click the feedback button. Everybody else, click the feedback button. Let us know what you're buying. You can find us every day at WSMCO. Thanks a lot.